You are listening to Let Us Encourage You. Life is hard, we get it. But you don't have to live a life without joy and light. You can find your truth and live it. Let us encourage you. Here's Lady V.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. You've tuned in to Let Us Encourage You. This is your girl, Veronica Stanford, a.k.a. Lady V. So this morning, I want you to grab your coffee, your tea, your water, your juice, your smoothie, your protein shake, or whatever it is you choose to drink, and let's sit down and let's get encouraged together. This morning, I want to talk about weapons forming. We know that in Isaiah 54:17, it says, "No weapon formed against you shall prosper." And I've noticed, especially with a lot of believers, we get very distraught, we get discouraged, we kind of lose focus, we get distracted when the weapons start forming. And we lose focus of the fact that God said they would never prosper. And this morning, I just want to encourage someone. No matter what it seemed like, no matter what your weapon is, if it's a weapon of, bills are piling up and you don't know how you're going to pay it. If it's the weapons forming of depression or anxiety, if it's the weapons forming, friends are starting to act a little funny and becoming distant, or family members, or whatever the case may be, all of those are signs of weapons forming. But I can guarantee you that it won't prosper, because one thing that I know about God and I've experienced for myself, a lot of times how we look at things, God will turn that thing around in a heartbeat. So just because it looked one way, today, it doesn't mean it's going to be that way, tomorrow. I want to share a personal experience. My daughter brought a truck last year. Matter of fact, April the 9th. And 6 months to the day, was it November, 6-7 months, around the same time, her engine went out. Her truck stopped. It went out. And so we took it up, to Vade Nissan. And they said, it was a transmission, it was the engine or whatever. And we had to replace it. We paid a little over $7,000. And, we were upset about it, didn't like it, but we worked out a plan, with her that she was going to pay us the money back. And 2 weeks ago, her engine seized up, started knocking, and went out again. So, here we go, a weapon forming. So she took it, had it towed to the Kia, which I really wanted her to have it towed to Nissan, to Vade Nissan, but, she had it towed to Kia. And, in the process, after a couple of days, I was asking, what's going on and, different things like that. And so to make a long story short, there was a recall on her engine in October. Yes, in October. Now, remind you, I just said we had it to pay over $7,000 in November. We were not aware of the recall. We just became aware of it 2 weeks ago. So, like I told her, if something else happened, there's no way that we was going to get, another engine and all this stuff or whatever. And so when I spoke with the lady, when I spoke with the lady, it really and truly helped. The fact that she said 9 times out of 10, what happened the first time, it was the same thing. The engine messed up. So you may say, well, why are you telling, this story? Well, I will tell you. Because God's grace, his goodness is that we will probably get reimbursed that about $7,300 that we paid for. And that is money that we could really use right now because, house taxes, property taxes are due and stuff like that, even though it's going to get paid. But still, it would be good to be able to have, the money and whatnot. So I said all that to say this. I started getting agitated with the fact of her engine going out again. But God had to show me that was just a weapon being formed. But it's not going to prosper because in the end, we're going to have the victory. And even though her engine went out, she's going to get a new engine and we're going to get reimbursed that $7,000. So I want to encourage someone today, regardless of the weapon forming, regardless of what it looked like, don't lose your faith. Don't lose your hope. And don't ever be ready to throw in the towel without seeing what God is going to do. Let God work on your behalf. Let God move mountains. Let God do what he needs to do. Let God be God before, you start getting distracted and getting all discouraged and woe is me and all of this. God has the final say so. So this morning, I just want to encourage you. Again, Isaiah 54:17, no weapon formed against you shall prosper. So whatever that weapon is in your life right now, don't worry about it. It's not going to prosper. God never said it wouldn't form. He just said it wouldn't prosper. Again, you've tuned in to Veronica Stanford, aka Lady V. Let us encourage you. And I hope if it just reached one person, that it encouraged you to not get distraught or discouraged or bent out of shape or lose your hope or lose your faith. Because guess what? The weapon will never prosper. And I pray that you have a blessed day. And again, be the best version of yourself because you owe it to yourself. Have a wonderful and fantastic day.